Hey, everybody, and welcome to week 3 of the Iron Will Reboot. Succeed. So we are 2 weeks completed, actually 3 weeks completed. We're talking about the next phase. We started off with struggle. Then we went on to persevere, and then this week we're talking about succeed. What it means to succeed, the importance of succeeding. At this point, you should have logged your way in. We should see that the progress is happening. If not, make adjustments to your 4 daily non-negotiables. Make sure you're doing them. Make sure that you are on top of your food. Make sure that you are tracking and doing everything that you need to do to make this work. By now, you should have a good handle on weighing and measuring. If your weight isn't going down, then reduce your calories. 100, 150 calories a day. Make one of the meals smaller. Make adjustments in your carbs. It's pretty straightforward at this point. It really is. Again, if you're not sure, go back and review week 1. Go back and read the document we sent you, how to do it and how to work on it. And then you can always reach out to us and ask us questions, and we'll get back to you on that. But again, at this point, we should be moving along well. We should be making the adjustments, and we should be reaping the rewards, succeeding. And the key here now is to start to really focus on the wins, what's happening. The weight scale should be going down. But not only that, you should be making some changes. You should be feeling different physically and emotionally and spiritually, more energy, feeling better, feeling more successful, feeling like you're in control of things for the first time, or in a long time, or maybe ever. And we talked a bit about that last week, about going through and persevering. At the end of the day, success is happening on the scale. If we're not, we're understanding why, right? We know it's either in the consistency of our meal prep and our food prep, in the weighing and the accuracy, adjusting the calories to get into the deficit. It's really what it is. Doing it, persevering through the easy days as well as the hard days, just getting it done, fighting for the 4 daily non-negotiables, right? Food mastery, exercise, mindset, and personal presentation. These are the 4 principles that matter the most. These are the pillars of success in this program. At this point, you should be well on your way. If not, go back, assess where the weaknesses are, assess where you're stumbling, and make those adjustments. Be real with yourself. Be honest with yourself, right? If you haven't been putting the work in, don't expect to have the results, right? The consistency of the application of the 4 daily non-negotiables is the key, the secret, the magic sauce, whatever you want to believe. It's in doing these 4 principles. Success is important now because we're starting to create a track record. We're having wins on a daily basis. Every day that you get your 4 daily non-negotiables in, that's the success. Every day that you get on the scale and it's moving down, that's the success. Every day that you're doing your exercise, that's the success. Every day that you're doing the things when they're hard to do, and normally you would not have done them, normally you would have fallen off the wagon, that's a success. If you have stumbled and gotten back on track, that's the success. As we start to add up all the wins in the win column, we start to build a few things. One, we start to build consistency, momentum, confidence, and self-esteem. And that really is where things get very, very exciting, because we develop the habit of succeeding. It's a skill set like anything else. A specific set of rituals on a daily basis will lead you to success. Just like when we talked about, in earlier episodes, we talked about when you look in the mirror and you look at what you see and you don't like what you see, or you take in what you see, you are seeing the sum total of your daily rituals and your daily beliefs. So if you look in the mirror and you're overweight, if you look in the mirror and you're tired, if you look in the mirror and you're angry, if you look in the mirror and you're procrastinating, if you look in the mirror and you're failing at the things you want to be doing, or you're not where you want to be, it's because what you do on a daily basis, your rituals, are leading you there. What you believe, your belief system, how you believe in yourself, the belief of what you put as far as being important in your day, this is what's leading to what you're seeing in the mirror. So making these changes is super important to making the changes. It really is, right? What we do on a daily basis. We talked about earlier, we can aspire to our goals and our dreams, but we will always come down to the level of our daily rituals and our belief system. So you might want the moon, but if you don't do the things daily to move you towards that, and believe that you can do that, and believe in yourself high enough to hold yourself accountable, you're going to sink to the level of your daily rituals and your daily beliefs. The words we use in our minds, that's why mindset's so important. What we think, how we how we talk to ourselves is so important, right? Because that's the programming. That's part of the mindset. So if you haven't been working on that, if you haven't been journaling or meditating or watching motivational videos or inspirational videos or something, just to start to change the words you use, the dialogues that you have in your head, the scripts that you run, you need to go back and focus on that, because that's going to make all the difference. If you believe you're going to be successful, truly believe, then you're going to do what's required to be successful. If you believe you're not going to be successful, you're not going to be successful, right? It really comes down to that. So again, once again, it falls into the 4 daily non-negotiables, right? Food mastery, exercise, mindset, and personal presentation. Fight for them every day. Those are the ones. If that's all you get for the day, if those are the only 4 things that you are able to be successful with, you are still moving forward, right? You're going to have days where it's a slog. You're going to have days where it's tough, where everything else around you just isn't working in your favor. It happens. Life happens. But fight for those 4 daily non-negotiables. And at least when you go to bed that night, no matter how the day went, whatever arguments you had, whatever conflicts you had, whatever failures you had, whatever, you still have these 4 daily non-negotiables that you were successful in. And that's something to hang on to. That's something that's going to keep moving. That's the life preserver that you get to hang on to in the middle of the waves, in the middle of the storm, right? The other thing I want you to do is, just like it's important not to dwell on the negative and on the negative words that we use and stuff, it's super important to start to recognize the wins that you're achieving and give them some space and time and celebrate them, right? Make them big, right? Dwell on the successes that you're having, right? Don't sit there and go, well, I only lost 2 pounds this week when I've been losing 5 pounds. That's still a success, right? Don't dwell on, things went terrible at work, or you had an argument with your spouse or one of your kids and stuff. You got to deal with those things, but don't dwell on that. Think about the fact that despite that, you still got your daily non-negotiables in. Despite the hard day you might have had or hard week, you still got the things that were required for you to move forward, to spend the time to focus on you. You got those things done. So maybe all you did really consistent this week was work out every day. That's a win, because maybe 3 weeks ago you weren't working out at all. Those are wins. And celebrate the wins. Spend time with the wins. Give them life. Make them big. It's so important. It's so important. Here's the other thing to remember. Success breeds success. Completing the non-negotiables is, again, you have 4 wins minimum every day. 4 wins minimum, right? How hard is it to get a 5th at that point? How many times have you guys up till now gotten up and not felt like it? Woke up and just, oh man, I'm not feeling it today. But you know what? You make sure you got your 4 daily non-negotiables in as soon as possible, and then next within an hour, your perspective on the whole day is dramatically changed. You're more positive. You were moving forward. You got the momentum. Sometimes we just got to warm up. Sometimes we just got to breathe and shake it off. I train a lot of clients starting at 6 a.m. Anyone who knows me, I'm not inherently a morning person, but I've structured clients in the morning for 2 reasons. That's when clients are available, but also it created a structure that forced me to have to get up early. But that also created a structure to force me to have to get to bed earlier as well. So there's no more, just one more episode, and it's 3 a.m. and you know what, I can live on 90 minutes of sleep. I can, but I'm not going to have a great day the next day, right? I'm really undermining how my day is going to go the next day. I'm really making it difficult for me to achieve success the next day. I am getting in my own way by doing something like that. And at the end of the day, it's far better to get to bed a little earlier, get up, be productive, get those non-negotiables in, and boom. And again, we talked about it before, the sooner you get them done, the sooner the doors open, the space opens up for what that creates and giving you the openness, right? What's really cool about the discipline of the daily non-negotiables is that discipline creates freedom, right? You have structure, you have boundaries. I'm just going to get this done. Listen, if you get up and you've already made, your meals are ready for the day, great. You don't have to worry about that. And you're staying on track. You got your workout in. So you did your cardio, your weights, yoga, whatever you're doing in the morning. If you got that done in the morning, great. Checked off. It's done for the day. Well, you're going to come out of exercise energized, physically a bit tired, but energized. The endorphins, the chemical release, just feeling good. I got it done. You shower now and you get cleaned up and stuff. And now you're into personal presentation. You're fresh, you're alive, you're vibrant. Well, that's going to radiate from you. You're going to get more productivity out of that. If you're in a situation where you do your exercise in the middle of the day, you get your morning done, you get your exercise done over lunch and come back to work, I guarantee you your productivity for the afternoon is through the roof because you're alive. The blood's flowing, the adrenaline's going, right? You're warmed up, you're ready to rock. So powerful, so powerful. So again, the key is to get these successes and get these wins in. You know, when we start to really see and list and fight for these wins, it's going to get easier, and it's going to create confidence and self-esteem. And listen, that leads to inspiration. That's next week. Inspire, right? Right now, you're leading into successes. Now, like I said, if the last couple of weeks haven't gone as the way you want, or last week didn't go the way you want, and you don't have as many wins as you want, stop the video, finish the video, let's start back. Well, what can I fix? What's the first thing I can fix right now to put me back on track? So maybe after this video, if food prep's the issue, finish this video, go cook some rice, go cook up some chicken, you know, get the scale out, measure out your meals, get back on track, get right back. You could take immediate action. There are tangible, specific things in this program to do that if you do them, you're going to be successful. So if you drifted, it's not like you have to reinvent the wheel. You're like, okay, where did I come off track? All right, boom, it's meals, boom, let's get it done. Where did I come off track? I just haven't made it to the gym or do my workouts. All right, set the alarm for 20 minutes earlier or 30 minutes earlier next day. Do it. Or better yet, when you're done this video, go do those daily exercises we talked about in week 1 and week 2. Just get them done. And then you'll feel better. You got them done. You checked them off. You're back on track, right? You're moving forward. That's really, right? See where you're at. Take inventory. You know, if the scale's moving down or not moving down, look at it and then pivot and adjust. Get back on track. That's what it is. Fight for your successes. You know what to do at this point. You go back and you redo them. Now, if you're being successful and you're doing really well, and a lot of people at this point are doing phenomenal. I get messages all the time. Kurt, I can't believe it. I'm into week 2 and week 3. I never thought, I can't believe how much things have changed in such a short amount of time. I love it. You know, breathe that in, take that in, right? That's exactly where I want you to be at this point. But I want you to sit there for a moment and kind of stop and look around and absorb it. Really breathe the success in, take it in, feel it. This is what it feels like to be successful. This is what it feels like to be on track. This is what it feels like to feel strong and in control. And for the first time, maybe in a long time, have purpose, right? Take some time and experience that. Because a lot of times we get so busy with everything around us and we've made busy work or we've put so many things on our plate that we just can't focus, we can't think, and we can't come up for air. Now, sometimes we do that on purpose so we don't think. So we don't sit there and evaluate our lives and realize, oh, I'm not really where I want to be, but I'm just so damn busy with busy work. I'm just so damn busy with everything I pile on my plate. I don't get a chance to think about it and feel about it, right? We don't want to hide behind that either. So the purpose of this is putting yourself first, carving out an hour for yourself every day. Remember, 1 hour is 4% of the entire day. Don't tell me that's not existing. Don't tell me you don't have that in your schedule. If you do, and you believe that, you're just kidding yourself, right? Or it's not important enough, right? For whatever we do in our daily day and whatever we make time for, we always make time for what's important and we make excuses for what's not important. So if you're sitting there and you're not getting it done, maybe you truly don't believe this is important enough. Maybe you truly don't believe you're important enough. And that's where you have to work on, because you are the most important person on the planet. Because the moment you start taking care of yourself, the moment you put yourself first, the moment, and that, it doesn't mean you just cater to every whim and fancy. In fact, we've done that too much. I mean the opposite. You matter and your goals matter that enough that you create standards for yourself, and that you matter so much that you have to fight for it. You're willing to push. You're willing to make the changes. You're willing to fight for yourself because you matter. And no one's going to do it for you. No one but you. The moment you start taking care of yourself, the moment you start taking some time to put yourself first, the more you prioritize yourself and you start to reap those benefits and how you feel and how you operate and how you think, and you put that vibration out, the world's going to feel it and it's going to come back to you. It's like an echo. Goes out, comes back, right? So what you put out comes back to us. All of a sudden people are taking notice. Man, Kurt's got a lot more energy. Kurt's a lot more positive. Kurt's on time. Kurt's getting stuff done. Kurt's getting all kinds of stuff. Every time I look at Kurt, he's in his underwear posing, on Facebook and stuff. I do that because that's what keeps me accountable, because I want to get more and more jacked. I want to build more muscle. I want to get leaner, right? But I'm also at my happiest doing that because I'm fulfilling the dream and the point in my life that I've always wanted to be, right? And I'm doing it at 54, 53, right? These are things I wanted to do since I was 18, 19, when I first opened my first bodybuilding magazine. I've always wanted that. It took a while to get there. It took a while to get my head around it. But again, in doing so, in making this transformation I've done for myself and continue to do, right? That's where we've come up with the Iron Will Reboot, simplified it, made it step by step, made it simple, not easy, but simple, because that's what we really need, right? So again, that's where we broke it down. This week we're into successes. Again, in part of you taking time to appreciate what you've done and the things that you've changed and the good that's happening. I want you to sit there and I want you to crack that journal open. Here we go, journal time, right? A lot of you talk to me, I don't know what to write in the journal. Well, I'm giving you specific tasks to write in the journal. And again, this only works if you take the time, either pause the video, write down what I say something to write down and do something, work on it, or watch the video, go through it, come back and get back to this part again and do the exercise, do the work, do the work. Can't stress that enough. It's simple. We're not writing chapter and verse here. We're just taking some time to write a few lines and then answer those questions for yourself, right? So, in journaling, when I get asked again, what else should I be writing about? Well, let's talk we're going to focus on the success aspect of it. I want you to sit there and start doing this little evaluation. First thing I want you to write down is, how do I feel right now? Right now, how do I feel right now? And I want you to break it down how you feel physically. I'm more energetic. I sleep better. I breathe better. I move better. I can feel my muscles. I'm wearing a tighter pair of pants or a shirt I haven't worn in a long time, right? Emotionally, how are you feeling? Are you less angry? Are you less anxious? Are you happier? That'd be cool, right? And then mentally, are you more positive? Do you see the potential? Are you getting excited, right? Are you spending time programming your mind with the right words? Are you deciding what scripts you're going to run in your head, right? I've said it before. I don't know if I talked about it in earlier videos, but if we ever talk to people around us, our friends or our family, if we ever talk to them the way we sometimes talk to ourselves, right, we wouldn't have many friends and families. And if someone talked to us the way we talk to ourselves, we wouldn't want anything to do with them. So why do we do it to ourselves? We don't deserve it, right? So at the end of the day, in building this confidence and the self-esteem and rising to a higher level, right, you need to talk to yourself in a different manner. You need to be better with yourself. Loving yourself doesn't mean giving yourself a break all the time when the hard work has to be done, or lying to yourself about, what you're doing, what you're not doing. That's not loving yourself. Loving yourself, putting yourself first, is taking the time to do the work, hold yourself to a higher level, commit to it, and making sure it gets done. We do that when we care about something. We do the hard work when we care about someone or something. We need to do that for ourselves. So how do you feel right now? Physically, mentally, and emotionally, right? Take some time, pause the video here, write this down and write it out. You might have a line, you might have a word, you might have paragraphs. Let it flow, let it go, right? That kind of thing. Or wait till the end of the video, come back and do this again. The other thing I want you to do is start to, in your journal at the end of the day, before you go to bed, do a little evaluation. We often talk about journaling in the morning. This is what I want to think. This is what I want to do. These are, the 3 things I want to achieve today. Here's my 4 daily non-negotiables. I check them off. That's fantastic. That's great. That's great programming for the day. But let's start taking 10, 15 minutes at the end of the day as we're winding down, right? As we're getting ready for bed, as we're calming down from the day. It's quiet. Maybe everyone else has gone to bed, right? Take 15 minutes. Crack your journal open. How did your day go? Evaluate the day. What were your wins for the day, right? What's the one thing you're happy about for today? What's the thing that got you excited for today? What's the one thing you accomplished? Is there something you got done today? Maybe you've been working on that finally got done, or you said, I know for myself, this weekend, it was Sunday, it was beautiful, it was hot out. There was a stump I wanted to get rid of in our backyard, right? I went out there, 30+ degree weather, sun was boiling, that kind of stuff. The pool's open. So I just took my shirt off, threw some suntan lotion on, grabbed the axes, and I just went to town on the stump. Whenever I needed a break, took a break, jumped in the pool, got back out, had something to drink, dried off a bit, went back to work on the stump. That stump has been sitting in that backyard for 10 years. I finally got it done. I was happy I got it done. My wife was happy I got it done. Everybody's happy we got it done. We're out there working together on it. So it was kind of cool. And then I started working on a new section of the fence, right? Because I had to get the stump done first. The productivity for a Sunday afternoon was phenomenal. This is something that 2 or 3 years ago when I was broken would have taken me, weeks to do. Start, finish, right? Or hire somebody and spend thousands of dollars to get it done when it cost me $100 on material and something to do in the afternoon. And the sense of accomplishment. Man, I was out there wielding an axe all afternoon, right? Destroying things, getting all sweaty, all manly. Right? It was awesome. Today, The next day, yeah, my core is a little sore from swinging the axe, my bicep a little bit from, but I'm not devastated. I'm not like, oh, I can't go to work for 2 days because I did a little bit of extra work, right? I'm physically in much better shape that I can handle more overall. And again, it all comes back to the mental part. I'm really happy I got it done. I'm excited I got it done because I felt good when I did it. And I feel like I accomplished something that had been on that list for a long time. And I'm proud of it. What are you proud of? What happened today that you're proud of? Spend some time, think about it. And then what's the one thing you're looking forward to based on the end of the day and how the day went and the successes, what you had? What's the one thing that you're looking forward to? I'm looking forward to, nailing my food again tomorrow. I'm looking forward, my food is really good today. I'm looking forward to get on the scale tomorrow because I know it's going to be good. Wow. How much of a swing is that? How much of a change is that compared to the dread of getting on the scale? Because you know why we dread getting on the scale every day? Because we know we didn't do what we were supposed to do. We know we didn't eat down. We know we didn't do it right. We know at the very least our scale is not going to move, but odds are it's going to move up. We're not stupid, right? We're not fools, right? We're going to tell ourselves all kinds of stuff, and we're going to say stuff like, "Oh, the scale gives me anxiety, and you know what? It's too hard on me mentally." No, you know what it is? It's calling you on your bullshit. It's calling you on, hey, listen, I know the last 24 hours didn't go well, so if I get on that scale, it's not going to show me what I want to see. But why should it? I didn't do the work. I didn't do the daily non-negotiables. I didn't commit to it. I didn't put myself at a higher level and a higher standard to do the work to get it done. So I know 9 times out of 10, I know when I got on a scale if it's moving up or down. I know based on the day before. Based on the day before. So we come up with excuses. Oh, it's negative. It's too much pressure. It's not, right? We just believe that to justify why we're not making the changes, right? So what's the one thing you're looking forward to? I listed 5 or 6 things here. Maybe that all doesn't happen on one day, but maybe, there's 1 or 2. You had to be happy about something, right? You had to be proud about something. You must have accomplished something, even if it's only the 4 daily non-negotiables. That's something you accomplished, something to be proud of. On the crazy day I had, I still got this done, right? Work was crazy. I had to go pick up my kid, that kind of stuff. Car broke down. All these things happen, right? So at the end of the day, despite that, you still got your daily non-negotiables done. Those are huge wins. Those are something to be proud of, excited about. That's an accomplishment because the older version of you, just 2 or 3 weeks ago, would have let that been an excuse. Oh, I haven't got time for dinner tonight, so let's get some McDonald's. Let's go through the drive-thru. I deserve it. I had a hard day. It's bullshit, right? That kind of stuff. You're just justifying why you didn't do it. So at the end of the day, you're doing the things to create more successes. Recognize the successes. Absorb the successes, spend time, be happy, be excited about them, because you know what happens? You're going to want more of them. Who doesn't want to feel good? So if this is starting to make you feel good, shine some light on it, give it some room, give it some life, and you're going to want more of it. Yeah, I want more of it. I want the scale to go down. I had one guy that we're working with. We had sat down a couple months ago and he'd come up with a goal of losing 50 pounds by a certain day by his birthday. And when we talked, he still had, I think, 5 weeks or 6 weeks to go, and he already lost about 40. So we're talking about it, and I asked him, I said, and I can see the size of him. I know where he's starting from. So I know how much he can move and lose and stuff, having done this for a while. So he's going on and on. And I stopped him. I said, listen, I think that 50-pound goal is a great goal. But I said, what's stopping you from making it 75? So he stopped for a minute. And he's like, whoa, well, I said, maybe you're thinking about it from a point of view of confidence of the old version of yourself, the guy that weighed 339, 49 pounds. You're still thinking like that person. But now you've lost 40 pounds. So now you need to start thinking about the guy who weighs 289 pounds. He thinks differently. She thinks differently. So through those eyes and that confidence and that success level, what's a better goal? What's a more attainable but yet still challenging goal? And he thought about it. He goes, yeah, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to push for 75 pounds by my birthday. And if I do it, this is what I'm doing on my birthday. Really cool story. Legit. Comes into the gym Saturday. Not just him, his wife, his 2 kids. Comes up and shows me 75.1 pound the day of. And he said to Kurt, he said, I never would have pushed for 75 had we not had that conversation. I never would have thought I could do it. I was able to help him realize that he can do it because I'd seen what he's accomplished already and where he's at, and he's still that much more to lose. So that was my role as a coach, was listen, let's push that a little harder. If he had set a goal of 75 and came in at 65, that's still 15 pounds better than the original 50, right? So he's still ahead. But to nail that, the look in his eye, the confidence, the big smile, the smile on his wife's face, the pride in the kids, because their old man just did something and now they were off to sushi to celebrate for it. Wonderful moment, wonderful, wonderful moment, and a level of success that will only help him grow. And I said, listen, while you're sitting there with your family and you're talking about how things went and that kind of stuff, and everyone's excited and proud, good time to start thinking about the next 90-day goal while it's fresh, while you're even more motivated. Now you feel super capable. What's next? So he's doing that and he's getting back to me on that. And again, now he's developing the skill of goal setting based on success. And the new version of him is more capable, is more positive, is tougher, is fitter. It's becoming more and more the heroic version of himself. So he is able to do things at a better level than he ever could because he's better than he's ever been. This is what we're doing here. This is what this is all about. It's about now seeing these successes and wanting more, right? This worked and got me success, so let's do more of this. Let's be more consistent. You don't have to work harder. You just have to be more consistent. That's the magic with this. It really, really is, right? Something else you can do is sit there and say, create a sentence for yourself. Kind of like I call it like a motto. A company has a motto. So for us, it's, struggle, persevere, succeed, and inspire. In Iron, we trust. These are two mottos that we have for our brand, who we represent, what we do to help people transform and become stronger, within and without. But develop a personal tagline. An example of a cool one is, I take full responsibility for everything in my life. It's a very, very powerful one. You say that to yourself every day. I take full responsibility for everything in my life. You may not be blamed for things that go wrong or go bad, but take responsibility for them. You lose your job, that sucks. It's your responsibility to find another job to replace that income, right? You're doing this weight loss, you're doing really well, and you struggle and you stumble. It's your responsibility to get back on track. Don't blame the people around you. Don't blame your neighbors. Don't blame your boss. Don't blame your family, right? It's your job to make sure the food is ready. It's your job to be consistent. It's your job to make sure that you get the food prep done. It's your job to make sure you get your exercise in. And if a week comes up that's got lots of crazy, because you got lots of things happening, birthdays and this and that, hockey for the kids, no problem. Look at the schedule as a whole and say it's your responsibility to make your 4 daily non-negotiables fit in there somehow. So maybe this week it isn't training at 7 o'clock at night because it's not going to work. So a couple of days you train at 8, a couple of days you train at 5 in the morning. It's doable. Is it inconvenient? A little bit. But when it's important, you'll move mountains when it's important enough, right? It's your responsibility. So that's a great personal sentence to say 2 or 3 times a day, especially when we hit a part of the day that is challenging. You know what? It's my responsibility. I'm responsible for how I react to what happens around me. It's very empowering, right? So find something like that. If you're not sure, type in Google positive affirmations. And there'll be a whole whack of them that'll come up. And maybe you'll find something that inspires you. Maybe there's one that, yeah, I really want that. I really like that. My Thursday one's my favorite. And I say it every Thursday myself, and I live it and breathe it. I say every Thursday, I'm a badass. Actually, I say I'm a badass motherfucker. And I mean it. And I say I'm a badass motherfucker in how I think, how I talk, how I dress, how I look, how I approach everything, right? So that day, it's a little extra special day for me because it makes me feel powerful. And I say that to myself over and over and over again. Thursdays, I'm a badass motherfucker, right? And I live that. So find your war cry, find your sentence to say, find your affirmation that's going to matter to you. You can have a different one every day. You can have one, different one every week. You can just have one that's yours that you're hanging on to for this entire 30-day process, and then come up with a different one as you evolve. That might evolve, right? That's something to look at. Right? That is important because it goes back to the words and the programming that we use in our mind so that we put the words in our head that we want to be there. We don't leave it up to the world around us to influence us, as to what those words are. So if we're sitting there and we're programming, we're saying things powerful like, I'm a badass motherfucker, I get shit done, right? I'm no longer the weaker, broken person I used to be. This is how this is who I am. This is how I look at things. And you get that in there and you start to basically run it through your head over and over again. Well, that becomes the thought for the day. That's what's occupying your head. That's what's on the TV screen in your brain. If you don't do that and you don't have something, you don't put purposeful words in there and scripts and the way you talk to yourself and that language, if you don't put that purpose to the words that, now you're susceptible to the first thing that happens. Oh shit, I woke up late, right? Now I'm behind all day. Now I'm hurrying up. Oh, I'm behind for this. Now I didn't get this. Now, then you start saying, wow, what's wrong with me? How come I never get to bed? I'm this, I'm that, right? Remember we talked about how we talk to ourselves. So we start putting that programming in. We let the outside world dictate and direct our mindset. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that anymore. We want to go out there, right, with our frame of mind, the way we want it to be and the way we need it to be. Because to be successful, you have to approach things in a successful manner. There's a way to do it. And this is what we're doing. This is what the program is all about, right? So again, take some time here. Pause the video or come back and watch the video, or at the end of the video, write this down and come up with it, right? So make it a fun challenge. What words do I really want to represent me? What words do I want when people talk about me to their friends? What words are they going to use, right? It's funny. I just had that same person we talked about that lost to 75 pounds. A friend of him saw him over the weekend, was blown away with success. And he was asking what he was doing. So he said, hey, listen, I've been working on this. I've been doing this. I've been working with, a coach. His name's Curdhos. And he says, Curd inspires me and motivates me and has made me feel that I can do anything I've ever wanted to do in my life. These are his words, and he sent it to me, right? So first off, super powerful, right? The words he used, inspire, motivated, right? To do things for himself. Like, this was so important for him. But again, these are words that someone was using to describe me, and my influence on them. I was humbled, right? But I also was happy to hear that, because that's really what I'm trying to do. That's my purpose with this program and with what I'm doing and with my journey, right? Is to inspire people to do the same. If I can do it, you can do it. It really comes down to that, right? So those are words that are becoming synonymous with who I am. And my goal has been to live up to those words. So how do I live up to those words? By continuing my journey, my transformation. I don't want to let those people down. So that's helped me stay more accountable and focused and do the workouts when I don't feel like doing the workouts. And, everybody gets to a point where I just don't want to eat chicken and rice. It happens. But I do it because now I'm at a higher level for myself personally, and now more people are counting on me. So it's holding me to a higher level of accountability, right? I'm pretty proud to be there. I'm pretty happy to be there. But I'm also in a situation where I can pause once in a while and go, man, 2 years ago, I wasn't there. I wasn't thinking like that. Those words weren't being used to describe me. Not at 398 pounds, not broken, right? Not tired, right? Not feeling like I let everyone down because I couldn't get shit done, because I didn't have the energy. I didn't have the focus. I didn't have the will, right? Words to be describing me back then were very different words to describe me now. So I'm proud. I want to take that in. I need to take that in. And then with that comes, as Peter Parker says, a great responsibility, right? That kind of thing. With great power, it becomes, you have a greater responsibility. And that's how I look at it. I have a responsibility to be responsible for everything in my life, but I have a greater responsibility now to help others do what they want to do. So if I can't do it, if I stop doing it, what's the message I'm sending? What's the message? What's the words I'm using in my head? What are the rituals all of a sudden I'm doing on a daily basis that is going to all of a sudden change what happens in my mirror? And I don't want that to happen. The other thing I want you to do is, you can also, and again, these are all suggestions what to do with your journal. You can use all of them. You can take some of them, right? But do something with it. Spend this time with it, right? At this point, you're working out. This time you're eating better. So it's time to spend more time up here. And that's why the success phase is more about the mental and approach to everything than it is about the daily activity, as the food prep and the exercise, the physical activity. Those are super important. But at this point, we're rolling well with them. Now it's, what's the next level? Next level is to get in here more, right? What's the one thing that needs to get done today to advance your success? Write that down. What's the one thing that needs to get done today that's going to make a big difference in your success? And think about it, right? What's on your mind? What's the one thing that keeps coming back? Is it that stump? Every time you're looking outside, do you see that stump? Has that gotten to a point where it's becoming something that's bugging you so much? Maybe cause a couple arguments, maybe whatever, maybe, who knows? Is it a phone call you need to place? Is it a problem you need to deal with? Is it a credit card that needs to be taken care of? Is it a conversation you need to have with your kids? Is it a conversation you need to have with your boss or your employees? It's the conversation you need to have with yourself, right? What's the one thing that needs to get done today that'll make a big jump in your success? What's the one thing that keeps coming back? Keeps ringing around, keeps coming around. Oh man, again and again and again. Deal with it. What's the one thing? Take a few minutes. Maybe there's 2 or 3 things, right? Odds are there is. Write them down. And then when you have that list of 1, 2, 3, 28 things, what's the one thing I can work on right now? What's the one thing I can solve or move the ball forward on within the next 5 minutes? Maybe it is take a moment and come up with a plan to pay off that credit card. I'm not saying pay off the credit card overnight, but come up with a plan. Maybe I need to stop using it. And I say, I owe $10,000 and I divide that by 12. That's $833 a month. How do I come up with $833 a month extra to pay off that card? And then you just start formulating your plan, right? Maybe it's as simple as that. Start and move forward. Maybe it is simple to say, listen, I have to have this conversation with my boss. This is bugging me at work, right? Or maybe I'm behind on this project. Maybe I just need to take half an hour, grab that file, and just go through it. Stop avoiding it because I think it's going to be terrible and it's going to be hard work, right? And 9 times out of 10, it's never as bad as we feel. We just got worked up about it. We've just made it a big thing when it's not really a big thing. What's the one thing that you can get done today that's going to advance your success, right? Then take immediate action. That's really it. Take immediate action on it. Yeah, so examples of things that you've been wanting to do or need to get done. You've been for months thinking about making a lifestyle change to lose weight. Today's the day to make it happen. Sign up for an Iron Will reboot. Sign up for the next one. Get on top of it. Hire a personal trainer. Join a better gym, right? Join a gym, that kind of thing. Set your alarm clock to get up half an hour early to go downstairs and use the gym you have, right? Take immediate action. Set it up. And then a plan, right? What's the plan? How do I do it? Like I talked about before, you've got this credit card debt. You want to knock it off in 12 months. That means you have to come up with X amount of dollars per month. What do I have to do? Where do I find or save or earn an extra $833 a month? Then find it, work it, and get it done. 3 months later, you've got like $2,400 paid. You're in the groove, right? Success. You're feeling success. You're moving in the right direction, right? You're feeling proud about yourself, right? You're happy with things that are happening. That bill's making its way down. Instead of driving up higher and higher with the interest, you're coming and bringing it down. That takes a lot of pressure off. And 9 more months, it's gone. Then you're sitting there going, wow, I got used to saving $833 a month. If I don't have that debt anymore, what could I do with that $833 a month? Maybe it goes into savings. Maybe it goes into paying down the next thing, right? That skill set doesn't disappear overnight. At this point, we've covered 3 of the 4 principles of struggle, persevere, and success. It's going to lead us now into next week, which is inspire or inspiration. And that's where things go even higher on the level of self-esteem and the level of confidence. When I talk about inspiration, we automatically start to think about, I'm inspiring others. And believe me, by now, 3 weeks in, down 10, 12, 15, 20 pounds, wherever you're at, people are noticing. And some of them will be inspired. They'll start to ask you, what are you doing? What's going on? How's this working for you? But the real inspiration I'm talking about is how you're inspiring yourself to go to the next level. How you're starting to believe, maybe for the first time that you truly can create this life that you want to create, right? That's what we're talking about. That's what the success is leading to, is the inspiration. We're going to talk more about that next week. What I want to get into now as we wrap this up is I want to talk about the weekly challenges. So every week we've had a physical challenge and a mental challenge, or a metaphysical challenge. We like to use big words, right? Last week we had added jumping jacks and stuff to the mix. Now I want to add 25 push-ups or sit-ups a day. You can do both. You can do one or the other, right? It doesn't matter, but add that to the mix. You can just say this week it's just going to be the push-ups, or this week is just be the sit-ups, or you can add it to what we've added last week about the 25 and the week before we started. So now you're squatting, you're doing jumping jacks, now you're doing push-ups. Well, you turn around and all of a sudden you got 100 reps of 4 different exercises happening. Guess what, kids? You got a workout, right? Muscle tone's happening, endurance is happening, flexibility, core, it's all increasing. So even if this is all you're doing for your physical activity, you're moving forward. Metaphysical, last week we talked about creating the ultimate day, starting with the morning, from the time you wake up in the morning till lunchtime, right? When you get up, what does that look like? What does that sound like? What are the activities you're doing? What time do you get up, right? Where are you working? What are you doing with your day? It's not a day, it's not a holiday, it's your Tuesday. It's just, this is what you do day to day. Create that ultimate day, create that life that you want to give you a roadmap as to where you want to go with things, right? Instead of just sitting there and putting your head down and getting things done, living day by day, just getting to the end of the day, just getting to Friday, we're looking at creating a bigger picture. We're looking at creating a direction and a journey and a destination, so that we start working backwards, going, if I want to be here, if I want to be doing this if I want to be coaching people online, and that's where I want to take things, and I want to do it full time, and I want to do it on the beach in Spain, well, what does that look like? What do I got to do? How much do I have to earn? How many clients do I need? What does it take? What does it cost to live in Spain? What do I do with my house here? Whatever it is, you start right to build it. You start to create that, work your way backwards. So we talked about the ultimate day in the morning, from the time you wake up till lunchtime. Now I want you to take it to the second phase, from lunchtime to dinner time. In that ultimate day, right? What are you doing for lunch? What are you having for lunch? Where are you having lunch? Who are you having lunch with? What time of day are you having lunch? Right? Be specific. How do you want it to be? Right? What, again, I want this to be the norm. So if your favorite thing for lunch is to sit down outside and get some fresh air and enjoy your meal, so it's either one of your meals that you've prepped, or it's a salad or something clean and healthy, because it fuels you and it empowers you, and it's the reason why you've lost 100 pounds and you're this new version and you're living this ultimate life. Well, what's that meal look like? Who are you having it with? Right? That's important too. Remember, use all your senses. What does it sound like? What does it smell like? What does it look like? What does it feel like? What's the temperature? Are you somewhere sunny? Are you somewhere warm? Do you have a favorite cafe you like to go to, right? That you want that to be your lunch spot, right? It's up to you. I want you to think about that. And then what happens after lunch? Do you go back to work? Have you created a life where you actually only work 4 hours a day, and it's the morning till lunchtime, and now the day is yours? What does that look like? Is that when you go for your yoga? Is that when you go for your workout? Is that when you go help out at your kid's school? Is that when you go for a hike? Is that when you meditate? Is that when you pursue another passion? Right? What does that look like? Well, Kurt, that's great. And I'd love to only work 4 hours a day, but I don't know how to do that. Okay. So how do you do that? How much you need to earn to live that? Well, I need to make $75,000 a year. Okay. What kind of career, job, business can you create or do or move to that you can work 4 hours a day? People do it. Lots of people do it. Right? Oh, they win the lottery. No, they don't. No, they don't. They just decided they were going to have a certain lifestyle, and then they figured it out from there. Maybe what they did is they reduced their debt load so much they don't have to make $100,000 a year, because they realized that wasn't what was making them happy. So they paid off all kinds of debts, paid off those credit cards, downsized their home, right? Sold one of the 3 cars, stopped going on vacation 4 times a year, because it really wasn't making them happy. What's making them happy now is they live a day where they work 4 hours a day, and then they're able to do the other things that are important to them, right? That's the magic of this. So what does your afternoon look like? Where do you go? Again, if you're working, what is your work? Is it a different part of your work? I know what I like to do is I like to train my clients in the morning, and then in the afternoon from 12 to 5, I like to go upstairs to the store, which is above our gym, and I like to work on the brand. I like to work on putting mail orders together. I like printing clothes. I like talking to clients that come in looking for supplements or whatever. Right? Then I'm online doing the social media. I really enjoy that. So one of the things I did when I said what my ultimate day would look like a couple of years ago is I wanted to break my day up, because I know that for myself, if I'm doing the same thing 8 to 10 to 12 hours a day, I can't handle it. My mind doesn't work that way. My energy doesn't work that way. I get bored. Feel like I'm stuck, right? And when I didn't listen to those things in the past, that was one of the reasons why I became unhappy and miserable and broken, because I was doing things that wasn't making me happy. Now I'm at a point where I'm so busy now with my clients that my morning from 6 a.m. to noon is almost packed every day. Well, that's fantastic, right? Revenue-wise, that's great. But fulfillment-wise, it's fantastic because I'm helping more people. I enjoy it because I'm working with them one-on-one, and we're pushing boundaries, and we're working out, we're having great conversations. And I know I'm helping them. They're telling me and showing me just how much their life is changing. Man, I can't have a more purposeful, driven life than that. I'm blessed. And then when that's done, I go have lunch. So either I have a meal I brought with me, or I go to the coffee shop next door and have a coffee and eat one of the salads I brought, right? And then I check some social media. Maybe I write some notes on my book or whatever. And then I finish it and I go upstairs and I work from 1 to 5. And you know what? Sometimes that's a blur because clients are coming in now. The store's getting busier. Emails are coming in, orders and stuff. Now that day is going by quick. Next thing I know, holy shit, it's 5 o'clock. So at 5 o'clock now, I'm ready to go to the next phase. We're not going to talk about it, but I've broken my evening up as well. So I have 3 specific phases to my day that all encompass what I do with Iron Hos and Iron Will, right, in my businesses. But in that, I'm working out twice a day, because scheduled in there are my workouts, because they are just as important as my clients' workouts, right? They're just as important as me getting the orders completed for mail order. They're just as important as me making sure that I get the programming done that I have to get done. They're just as important for me as getting the bills paid, because fundamentally matter to me, and they fundamentally made the shift in my transformation by working out twice a day, because my ultimate goal is to be in the best shape of my life, be jacked, as muscular as possible, getting leaner all the time, right? That is where I'm happiest, right? And sometimes it's a lot of hard work, but most times it's not anymore. It's fun. It's hard work physically, but I enjoy it, right? And from that, from living that and becoming that person who I truly want to be, everything is unfolding for me. The doors are opening. People are contacting me for training. I never, ever send out a post, hey, listen, I got some openings. If anyone wants personal training, I've yet to do that. You know what I post? Me standing in my underwear with a progress shot, me showing a workout, a video of me doing something, and people see the transformation. People see I'm doing what they want to be doing, talking in a way that they want, the positivity, the self-confidence, right? They see that, they want that, because that's what they want for their life. So they're drawn to it. Remember we talked about when you change how you do things and how you think and how you feel and how you talk to yourself, you change your mindset about, how you truly believe in the daily rituals. You do that, you put that out, you put that energy out, and that's going to attract as well, right? So the better version of me, as it continues to evolve, right, creates a better life for me. Lots of work sometimes. There's stresses. Time management is becoming a thing again. For 2 years with the shutdown, I had a lot of time to do a lot of things, right? Train a couple of people, go work out. I think I'll take a nap. There's no naps anymore, right? That kind of thing. That's okay. Because if I truly need a couple of days off, I also know now I'm taking care of myself and self-care. Hey, you know what? I'm taking Thursday, Friday off. So I'm going to talk to my clients, move them around. They're all cool. They understand why I'm doing it and stuff, right? Or I take a weekend and go take off, do something, right? I'm proactive, self-care, balance, wife, life, family, right? All those things have to happen, right? But they have to happen with purpose. So in your ultimate day, maybe you're having lunch with your significant other. Maybe you're having lunch once a week with your kids or one of your kids because you want to spend some time with them, some quality time with them. Maybe you're taking a staff out for lunch so you can, again, have some quality time with them, right? Or maybe you like having lunch by yourself so you can unload, deload, decompress a little bit, do some of your mindset work. Maybe that's when you journal while you're eating and having a nice coffee or a nice drink and stuff, and you get a chance to breathe and you're taking in the successful morning you had, and now you're getting ready to set yourself up and prime yourself up for the afternoon and making sure you're on top of all your things, because you want to make sure you're out of work by 5, because you have other boundaries now. You have other things that need to get done because you're meeting someone for dinner, or you're going out for errands, or you're going to a movie, or you're just spending time, you're going bowling, whatever it is you want to do. You're creating the framework and boundaries to do this. You're being purposeful, right? That is what we want to do. That's the basis of creating the ultimate day. So what does that look like for you? From noon till 5 p.m. I say 5 p.m., you can go to 6 p.m. I want you to take it right to dinner time. Break it down, be specific. Someone messaged me the other day and they said, I've been doing it, but I get going and I get super excited. And I'm like, beautiful, write it all down. You can come back to it later and look at it and adjust things and see what's happening. There's nothing wrong. There's no right or wrong way to do it, right? And for a lot of you who haven't done it before, it can be overwhelming because you've never took the time to think, what is it I really want to do? I can't think about doing that. I can't leave my $100,000 a year job because I have all these commitments financially. Well, you can, if that's what you want to do. If you think you'll be happier taking a cut and pay, then turn around and start fixing things. Get rid of debt load, right? Change your cash flow. Make things happen so you can do it. So all of a sudden you can go and say, listen, I hated this job, but I got stuck. I painted myself into a corner with bills and commitments. I had no choice. I'd much rather be doing this, and it only pays $60,000 or $50,000, right? Well, it only makes a difference if you have to earn that 100,000. So if you can turn around and be happier, and a lot of times the things we fill our lives with, the bills we incur, the expenses we incur, is just because we want to feel good for a moment. Oh, I'm so excited I bought a sailboat. Well, do you fucking sail? Well, I get out once in a while. Well, dude, what'd you do that for? Because you thought you would feel great buying a sailboat. You thought it would change your life, but you changed nothing in your life to give you room to go out sailing. So you get out there once in a while. Now it's this big, expensive thing that you have to pay marina fees. I'm making shit up. I don't know how boats work, but you know, that kind of thing. So at the end of the day, it became another burden, right? But the guy or girl that figured out, you know what I want to do? I want to take guitar lessons because I miss playing guitar and I just want to play. So you know what? I got rid of one of the cars. I do less hours. So now I can go take guitar lessons 2 nights a week. And then I have 2 other nights a week I can practice on. And all of a sudden they're happy. They're doing something you wanted to do. And when you're doing stuff you want to do and you're busy doing what you love doing, you're not trying to fulfill yourself with immediate gratification, you know, to quickly have a dopamine release. Oh, I went and bought the newest pair of shoes. 5 minutes after you bought it, it's over, right? That kind of thing. Unless you really love shoes, really love shoes, then it's a thing. This is what this is all about. Your ultimate day. What is it you want to be doing? Who is it you want to be? What is it you want to do? And then figure out, to do all this, who do I need to become? How do I do that? That's what the purpose of this ultimate day exercise. Again, like last week, I get super excited about this aspect. I could talk about it forever, but I don't want to beat a horse to death here. At the end of the day, as you can see, just by the way I'm going on about it, it's so powerful. It's such a cool exercise. And again, we repeat it every 2 or 3 months because as you change and evolve, this will change and evolve as well too. But I want you to do it so when you look back, you could be amazed at how much progress you've made. But again, you're giving yourself a target. You're giving yourself a destination so that all the things we're doing now have more purpose because it's moving you towards where you want to go with things, right? As opposed to just doing them just because, right? Remember, this all starts with a very big and powerful why. Why do I want to make these changes? Who is it I really want to become? And to become that person, what do I have to do? And what is the life I'm going to lead doing that? When we start to put that effort behind it and that thought behind it, we make it that important. Things like weighing your food becomes a joke. Things like working out every day is a joke. It's so simple and such a easy component to move you towards the bigger goals and where you want to be overall. You might be happy just, you know, living in the woods and writing poetry. As long as you can get paid for it and you can sustain yourself for it, and that's what you want to do it. You're the only person that's stopping you from doing it. Only person, right? But you have to get in a position of confidence. You have to get into a position of high self-esteem. You have to get into a position of physical and mental energy, especially to make these changes at first. You need to become tougher. You need to create the iron will. Guys, that's it for week 3. Listen, keep doing the great work. Reach out if you're stuck. But again, at the end of the day, go back and review. Put the time in. Do the work. And it's going to come back to you 10-fold, 50-fold, 100-fold. I see it all the time. I know you can do it. I'm proud of you. And I'm going to talk to you guys next week.